Hey guys, Coldbrew here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today we're showcasing Taras. We are using this champion with as many buffs as possible to do as much damage as possible to the clan boss using his very unique kit with his A3, A2, and A1. His A3 is so special. Look at that. 950,000 has just hit on the boss. And what it does, it basically enables you to do more and more damage depending on the number of buffs that are on your team. So this team that I've built is nothing too special in the sense that is haven't been made before. What I'm doing here is just I'm trying to make the team have as many buffs as possible with as many buff extenders in there. So Taras himself does have a buff extension skill on his A3. And then we have in there Krisk, who also has a buff extension skill. We also have Lanakis in there with the buff extension skill. We have we even have Yumiko there with a full reset, and then we have Gerptog for the extra damage when you've got debuffs on you. So that's what I've been testing with this team right here, and you saw the big numbers that we were getting. But the showcase will be an overall. This team is not the one that I really wanted to show. I just wanted to show the potential coming out of this skill right here, the constant pressure, where the 15% for each buff. So ideally you'll get 50 buffs across the board. So 10 on each champion. That's the maximum, by the way. And 10 buffs, that will be the maximum damage you have. Then the maximum gear that you can have, let's say a Savage Head, which I do have on Taras at the moment, plus his passive, also proccing, one of his passives at least. And then his A2 is also very strong, Heroes Intercession, which also does double damage if the enemy's attack is equal to or higher than this champion's attack. So this champion is an HP based champion, so we barely have any attack. And then we also have the A1, which boosts Terminator, which helps overall the whole team. So like the A2 here, boom, look at that, 219,000 without a defense down, by the way. I need to get hit in order for me to apply the defense down. And I'm waiting for Chris to get hit. Like I didn't have weaken on. I didn't have a critical damage buff on, so there were some changes I could have made. Like look at how much less it can actually hit sometimes, depending on the number of buffs that you have at all times on your team. But it looks like a very solid team. Initially, when I saw this champion, I was thinking, okay, is this like Seer, but a legendary version of Seer where it depends on the number of buffs on your team to do more damage? It's not as good as Seer. It's not as good as Seer. We have seen insane numbers from Seer doing millions and millions of damage, and it's very clear that they didn't make one like Seer but better than Seer, a legendary void version. They might have that in their mind for the future, but for now, like this team looks like, you know, a definite one key if this goes to 50 turns. I don't think it would go to 50 turns just because of the amount of hits we get. Like there's no shields here protecting us from the big hits from the boss. I don't even have War Master on Taras for this specific showcase, but you see all these buffs. These are extended by triple buff extension skills, and it's looking like a ton of fun. So if I end the battle here, we'll see the total damage dealt, at least for this run. And yeah, 19 million damage there from Taras out of the 36. So 20 million almost out of the 36. That's pretty good. And Krisk damage mostly comes from Brimstone. So let me show you Taras, how I've built him, and we'll go back to different showcases. I actually wanted to try him out for the Hydra, and looking at him right now, all right, the difficult thing about HP nukers is that you don't have an increased HP buff, unlike increased attack or increased defense, which those benefit defensive-based nukers and attack-based nukers. This one has to benefit only from his gear, right? There's no specific buff for this guy. So he is built with 272 crit damage, a Savage Set, 200 speed. I could have had this much less so I can get more health. Didn't go with that just because I wanted the extra speed. But I just want to do a showcase for damage, which I can do. I'll drop his speed boots and get the HP boots and get him closer to 100k right there. Let's say we had blessings or empowerments. That would have benefited him a little bit in terms of damage. So in terms of skills, this is what's so fun about Taras. If you also have Marishka, okay, these are the two unique champions. You know, from what Plarium told us, it's based on the folklore of the Ukrainian history, something like that. Wow, I've just noticed that he just spawns these two items right there. It was, you know, inspired from their history, so you can read into it. I'm definitely sure Platinum is going to post something about this in the future. And this skill is what makes him so unique. He's got the Fierce Battler here, which decreases the attack done by bosses. And then he also has this very unique, all incoming damage from skills is reduced by 50%. When attacked, this champion's max HP will be decreased by 25% of the attack's initial damage before the damage reduction. So a very strong champion for killable teams, which is why I thought, okay, let me try that with the Krisk team. I didn't want to get around like going for an hour or build that kind of team because that's been done before, but I did want to see like a full extension of all the buffs. I must have had like 40 buffs plus at any point during the run, and the highest number is what you saw on the screen, like with 950,000. We've got the A2 here, which is also very strong, does double damage on enemies and can also stun. And if you got Mariska this, whenever an enemy attacks her, he'll be attacking with this one and stunning them and also doing damage. Then the A1 does a nice terminator fill. All right, so in terms of masteries, I went ahead and used up Helm Smasher for this guy. Helm Smasher is very solid in most content and PvP, but it's not very useful for, let's say, the clan boss, which we saw earlier, and the Hydra. So for Hydra, I wouldn't go with this one just because of the more consistent War Master damage. Helm Smasher will not give you much, but since he's not limited to this skill doing enemy max HP, so this doesn't do enemy max HP, it just does damage multiplied by the buffs. I went for Helm Smasher just to see on what I can do for the Hydra. So in terms of normal damage, you'll see that he's not that special, all right? He's not going to be that Nuker where he completely clears a wave. So just a very good example of this would be if I placed him in there. So instead of my Seer, so in this dragon team, instead of my Seer, let's say I had him, Battle Khazar, and him, all right? This would have been the ideal team if he worked exactly the same way. Does he have enough to actually get through the whole wave? I highly doubt it. Even with the Battle Khazar extra 20% damage, we have the defense down here, the attack up buff. Just look at all those buffs. We even have the sleep debuff there, the extra shields. Gonna have some extra shields here from Renegades A2. So look at all these buffs. We have how many? 3, 6, 10, 14, and then another 5 there, 19, and then another 5, 24 buffs. So yeah, that's a lot of extra damage. Defense down for sure. The poisons give another 20%. So this should have been with Seer, this would have been a complete erase of these ads. Let's see with this guy. 300,000, 330,000. Not that great, but there's a but with this. He is not as Seer. He will not completely strip the team and make it weak. And Seer, you depend on her clear to actually go to the next wave and not worry about what comes after from the enemy surviving, okay? With this guy, if some enemies survive, we still have a ton of buffs, which he has extended, all right? Look at that. He extends all those buffs. You have all those heal over times. Those will allow you to fight for longer. And with resets or refresh gear, he becomes so good. Just straight up doing damage. 162k there from the A2. He's there basically to assist also the support teams, but also do good damage because of how his A3 works. At a 4-turn cooldown, it makes sense, but in terms of replacing your enemy max HP nukers, that's not going to be it. It will be replacing them only if you need an additional help to your support champions, you know, increasing the buffs from Krisk, increasing the buffs from, let's say, Sifi in the Hydra team. So you see that, boom, right there, 235,000, not that much, even with all those buffs. He's not doing crazy amounts of damage, but I am liking him for the support that he provides. And I won't showcase him together with Mariska. It's not worth it. It's 2 Void champions that will probably the majority of players out there who might watch this video might never get them both together. So in terms of the Hydra, this is where I would put him. I would fit him in here in my normal Hydra team, which is a easy 1 key, okay, because of Acrisia. But the extra support there would have made it like a no-brainer 1 key. I wouldn't even have to worry ever about this being in one key. The bad affinity here is messing up Ugo, but it's fine. This is just a showcase, really not really meant here for the showcase. So here we got stolen because Chris hasn't managed to extend all his buffs just yet, but we will have, boom, look at the extension there coming in from Taras. All right, we'll try to apply our buffs this time, debuffs this time. Couldn't land them. Oh my god, not getting any good luck there with the debuffs. And I will try to kill off the DK head. Look at that, 280, 273. What I am looking for basically is to enable as many buffs as possible at all times, with the maximum amount of buffs being on my Krisk. Okay, that will allow us to do a lot more damage with this guy. For the long cooldowns that he has, it is a little bit unfortunate because he'll be just waiting around just to do his A3 on a 4-turn cooldown. Usual buff extensions are at the 3-turn mark, but I have Sifi there boosting. He'll be boosting with his A1 skill. So that's an added benefit for Taras. And I kind of like this champion. I wouldn't say he is in my top 5 voids that I want to get, especially for my account or anybody out there. Like for PvE content, it's still going to be Akrisia, all right, Krisk, the Sifi, all those will still be in the top list for voids, but he is still a very, very solid champion. Probably wouldn't even build him with the Savage set that I have him right now. I will build him for more consistency for his extensions and just damage overall. So I would build him maybe in a Relentless if your reflex is not that good, and then just trying to have that available. So far looking good, but does he do anything for PvP? Is he really in there just for that synergy, the duo synergy with Mariska? Is that the idea that only them two work together? I'm going to try him out on his own in the sense of being just a solid nuker, and we'll come back, just build a team, and we'll come back to show that in arena. So going into the arena, this will be the usual team that you'll see, okay, with Kaimar, Sifi, all right, in terms of speed teams. And then you have a defensive base or an HU based nuker that can go in there. Madame Series is there basically to remove buffs. If Kaimar cannot remove them, probably gonna face Stone Skin on that neck crit right there. If we have double Stone Skin, we might be in trouble. Okay, let's see. We managed to buff there. I don't even know how he countered. I think the fear there from Taras's passive made him to counter. Wow, that is so annoying against this specific combo. So can we remove any of the buffs? No, we couldn't remove them. That is unfortunate. Hopefully, hopefully Madame does something. Okay, we managed to remove some of the buffs, but not the Stone Skin one. Okay, can we take out the Duchess there? That is the question. Probably gonna go with the A2 there on the Duchess instead of the A3. Yeah, the reaction there is what is very annoying. So reaction, it's not allowing me to do a big crit there. Might have to wait a little bit. Managed to sleep. Okay. Wow, those Stone Skins are sticky. Wow, okay. Can I try with 7 buffs? How much is that gonna be in damage? Okay, we managed to take off the Duchess. That is okay. That is I can work with that. With Duchess out of the way, she reduces the damage that the allies take from AoE, not only from the Perfect Veil, but because of her passive too. So, ooh, that sheep is really hurting right there. Let's stop that Venus. Okay. Okay, I have my Kaimar back. So this should be doable. I get lots of buffs here. Try the A1. Barely any damage there. Yeah. This champion is not meant to be an arena champion. No way. Maybe with the other chick, Mariska, but on his own, no, not a chance. All right, let's see what we can do now. At least we have a fear there. Go 1 defense down. Yeah, it looks big, like a big, fist on the ground. that he does, it looks amazing, but doesn't do all that much. I think because of the ally protection, is that why Necra took most of the damage there. Maybe with Ramantu, if I had Ramantu there to disable some passives, that would have been nice. Let's carry on. Let's try. Don't want to try the same teams. I want to try like maybe a speed team. This one's probably going to be cutting me in with Valkyrie. Don't want to test another Cubitus team. This one's like a big health team, but still this will allow me to test some things. Okay. That fear from the start is actually bad in arena because of the amount of enemies. Most of them will have the defensive mastery, which fears when you fear somebody or true fear them, they have a chance to counterattack you. All right. That is not good. That is not good because Taras does the fear on enemies on his own. So now I might actually lose my turn here instead of doing my damage. So I didn't lose my skill. So I don't need to reset. So I can just hit them and we'll see how this goes. I'm going to sleep that guy. I can wait out on Valkyrie. Yeah, I can wait out on the strip on Valkyrie. Stop them. Can I take somebody out? Ooh, look at that. 161k. When he wants to, he could do some damage. Right? When he wants to, he can do some damage. But that other void that we have on the test server, that's actually looking way stronger. Okay, there's the defense down. Boom. So buffs are taken in out of the equation here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. That was solid in a very defensive team with lots of buffs and sticky buffs with the protection gear coming in from Hydra. I can see him being in a defensive team instead of a speed team that I'm doing stupidly right now. I can totally see him in a defensive team in there just because of the buffs that you'll have. They'll be sticking because of protection. And he'll be just doing consistent damage with the A2 and A3. If you've got Marishka in there, you've got a good combo just waiting around in there. So yeah, I can definitely see him being in some sort of defensive team, but not in a speed team like what I'm doing right now. And he'll be, you know, a more defensive type of team means a longer team to kill. And what I'm doing here with the speed team is I'm trying to kill them fast, which is not happening. It's already been 2 minutes. So I'm not succeeding. I would need to kill that Mountain King though to actually justify all of this. Yeah, and his longer cooldowns make a little bit more sense to use him in something different. Although Kymar works nicely with the longer cooldowns. Look at that, 100,000 with the A2. Can revive here, get a defense down going, maybe. And it's not like other champions with the same gear can't do over 100,000. Yeah, there's many champions that can do this. So he's not very unique. Look at that, 50k there. Without a defense down. Let's do it now. Defense down. Let's sleep him. I want to see the A3. Is what I want to see. Boom, 173k. Not that much. But overall, yeah, I like this champ. I wouldn't say he is in the top 10 even of voids. I don't want to say that, even though he, you know, you see big numbers, saw the big numbers at the start and the clan boss. There is potential for him. He's not a game changer on his own. He will not change an account on his own when you get him. He has the buff, which is nice. The reduction in damage, the decreased attack, all of those are nice for clan boss. On his own, he can make a solid team last many turns. I'm not even going to count the synergy that he has with Marishka, okay? What I think is he's more fit into a team that goes on for longer. He reduces the damage taken from skills, so works very well in defensive teams. All right. When attack decreases the enemy's attack by 10%, and this stacks basically, all right, up to 50%, which is huge for those teams that are using attack-based nukers. And if they can't get through to you, they'll have a constant reduction of 50%. So for PvP, you got to find the right combo to put him in there and just make that, you know, enemy Cadraphone, that Trunda, You know, the Baron, they'll suffer with a 50% reduction. They'll suffer if they can't get through you. If they cannot apply a defense down and get this guy out of the way, they'll suffer. His critical rate aura doesn't make much sense. I would have loved that this was an HP based aura, since he's an HP based champion, but a big aura for all battles, like a 35-40% aura, would have been insane. The critical rate, it's okay, but it doesn't make sense to put him in a defensive based arena team, let's say, as an example, and have this guy in the lead. You'll have something else in the lead instead of this guy. Maybe resistance lead, HP lead, defense lead, anything else than the critical rate. Although it's nice to have him with all these big stats for the bigger numbers. This was the showcase of Taras the Fierce. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.